Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gotham City. I'm your host, Levi Rosman. This is a podcast where I talk to people who live in the chess world on the 64 squares and also beyond them. In this episode, we're talking to Anna Cramling. She is a Swedish and Spanish streamer, YouTuber, child of two grandmasters, so we have a lot of interesting topics to discuss about the world of chess, and I hope you enjoy. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. I frequently call you the most famous chess player in Sweden. Would you agree with this evaluation or no?
I would pretty much maybe agree with it, but I'm not the best chess player in Sweden at all. So not chess-wise, but perhaps publicity-wise.
That's okay. Yeah. And we'll get into all that good stuff. Honestly, I'm pretty excited for this conversation because you bring an element of the chess world, like a lot of different elements and stories of the chess world that I haven't had a chance to speak to other guests about. And the most obvious of which, and the most famous question that you get, for those that don't know, is you are the child of two grandmasters, and like not like some bum grandmasters, like some very well accomplished grandmasters. So yeah, take it away. Like, can you tell the viewers, the listeners, who your parents are, and how that was growing up? I mean, your whole journey of chess growing up.
I've had a long journey of chess, even if I'm only 19 years old. But yeah, my parents are both grandmasters, just like you said. My dad is a Spanish grandmaster. His name is Juan Manuel Bellon Lopez.
That was like super smooth Spanish. Like
I want to say it with I cannot not say it with a Spanish accent. It just hurts to my ears.
I know.
So I just got to do it. But yeah, so he's a grandmaster. He's been like Spanish champion lots of times. So he's definitely been, in the game for a long time. And my mother is Grandmaster Pia Cramling. So it's really cool to have two grandmasters as parents. Of course, it's perhaps wasn't as cool when I was 5 years old and didn't really know what that meant. But because when I was a little kid, I mean, I remember being like 4, 5, 6 years old, and all my friends like telling me that their parents were like teachers or doctors, or they had whatever job, right? And I have this like really famous scenario of like everybody in kindergarten having to tell what their parents did. And I was like the last one in the list. And I said my parents are chess players. And I was super shy back then. And everybody just turned around and were like, what? What do they do?
Both of them? Are they unemployed?
Like, where do you come from? So I mean, when I was a little kid, I think that more I just like didn't really understand like what they were doing, so I couldn't really appreciate it. And in some ways, when I was younger, it kind of was annoying that they were so focused in one thing, because I felt like that made them lose focus in many other things.
Elaborate. What do you mean?
Well, like I felt like they were always talking about chess, and maybe sometimes I was talking about some other things, but they would always come back to chess. And
that's so interesting. Like real true chess players, because if you put like two people in a room and they're like grandmasters, I mean, they might talk about other stuff, but they're gonna talk about chess too. So that's so fascinating. Wow.
Yeah. No, they are like true chess players, and they talk like true chess players as well. So in that sense, sometimes I found it a bit annoying. And when I was younger, it also made me, in a way, like kind of dislike chess, because it was just so familiar that I didn't want it to be familiar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also all the negative stuff you bring back from school, you don't necessarily love to play it because you already get so much of it at home. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because oftentimes in school, if you pick up something new, and especially if your parents aren't that into it, it's like a thing that you can own yourself. So, and chess wasn't big in your school, I imagine.
No, no, no. I mean, I played chess with my granddad, but I didn't really play chess with anybody else back then when I was a little kid, or with my parents, but they would always beat me, apart from my mom, who let me win sometimes, but
That
she said she didn't do it, and I felt like a little prodigy. I was like, wow, if I'm 7 years old beating a grandmaster, I must be the next world
Oh
champion.
my God, that's also another really funny part about it, right? Because like if you if your parents are GMs and you're beating them, there's a moment you're like, I think you're losing on purpose. I don't actually. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Wow.
because as a little kid, you want to be like, typically you actually believe that your parents are
Yeah.
saying the truth,
Yeah.
and you're like, I must just be so good. But they were so good that I just knew
Oh my
that they
God.
had to let me win.
Oh my God. That's so fascinating. My dad was 1400, like 13, 1400.
Mm,
So I actually did beat him like legitimately for the first time. And okay, maybe he made some, but at least I thought I could beat him because I was
yeah.
like, oh, he's only 14, 13, 1400. And then that really propelled me. I mean, I'm sure it gave me confidence. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when when you're not really sure if your parents are playing their hardest, uh, that can, I'm not sure what that does for confidence or like a mental state. But you grew up in Sweden, right? Like where you are now, or you grew up somewhere else?
No, I was born in Spain and I lived in Spain until I was 11. So I moved here now 8 years ago. Yeah. So
Oh,
I
that's
grew up,
interesting. Okay.
yeah. So I went to Spanish school and everything. My mom tried to speak Swedish with me, but yeah, I just replied in Spanish. I thought
I
Swedish was so hard.
well, it and I've talked to certain guests about certain languages, and sometimes I feel like I'm disrespecting a language, but like
Go ahead.
I had Sea Dog on, and he speaks Welsh, which I didn't even know the country of Wales had their own language. I was like, that's a language that's a little niche. I feel like Swedish compared to Spanish. Spanish you can speak to like 25% of the world or something,
Yeah, yeah.
and
No, Swedish is a pretty, it's like a niche, but it's also pretty awesome because if you speak Swedish, you understand Norwegian, you understand Danish. So
really,
yeah, they're very similar to each other. So,
mm.
and Norway being a huge chess country, I can talk to the Norwegians in Swedish. It feels like a pretty good bonus.
Wait, so they speak Swedish?
No, they speak Norwegian, but Norwegian and Swedish are very, very close. So the people from Denmark speak Danish, people from Sweden speak Swedish, and people from Norway speak Norwegian. And
That I could figure out. I mean, I know I'm American, but like,
yeah,
Jesus. But you're saying that like the dialect is, or
yeah,
the conjugations and stuff are similar enough?
they're very similar. Like,
Oh,
yeah, they're super similar. Like, I can watch a Norwegian show without subtitles and
oh,
understand pretty much everything. So it's very nice in that way.
hmm,
So you
okay.
know, we're not that many people up here in these countries, but at least we understand each other.
That's actually really interesting. I did not know that. I wonder how, like, I speak Russian, but when I hear Ukrainian, I can get maybe 50 to 75% of the sentence, but what you just described does not sound like 50 to 75. It sounds like 90%. So, because
Yeah,
I don't think you can speak to someone and only understand half the words. So, oh,
that's
that's interesting.
awkward. That would be
Um,
very awkward.
but
Yeah,
but
but
then when did you actually get a liking for chess and start playing it, or was it a thing that your parents pushed?
no, my parents didn't push me with that. Or I mean, in a way, they pushed me in the sense that they were always traveling, playing chess, and it was like, Anna, you can't be home alone, so you're coming with us.
Oh, oh, what about school?
Yeah, what about school, Levy?
Oh
That's a
shit,
good
really?
question.
Like you would they would just take you out even if you weren't playing?
No, I did have a babysitter a lot of times, but I went to schools where they allowed me to travel a lot, and I got pretty good grades, so they would always let me travel and stuff. But yeah, I went to a lot of chess tournaments growing up where I did not play. I was just running around, talking to everybody, and watching my parents play. I'm being in the hotel room, watching movies, I'm making and doing my homework. Like that was a big part of my childhood.
And they went
Um,
together because if one of them was playing, the other would be the second, or they would both be playing?
They typically were both playing. I mean, a lot of times was also that somebody had to stay at home. Like if I did have any big exams or something, I they did have to stay. One of them had to stay at home.
Hmm.
So then typically my mother would be the one traveling, and my dad would stay with me. Um, but yeah, there were a lot of times where we all traveled together. My dad used to coach my mom as well, like before they had me.
Oh
So
wow.
they were pretty used to like traveling
Is that how
together.
they met?
They met in a chess tournament in
Oh,
Switzerland.
shocking.
Shocking.
I thought maybe they met a different way. That's interesting. Oh, so they met in a tournament in Biel, like in Biel,
I
or
think so. Yeah.
that's the only tournament I know in Switzerland.
Yeah, it's the
So
only one I know too, so I think
did
it's
they
that
get
one.
married in Biel too, or just
They're
somewhere
not
somewhere?
married.
Wait, sorry, sorry, huh? Okay, well this might open a can of worms that, why can I say why not, or can we not discuss
No,
that?
no, I mean they're just not officially married. Like they're married. No, I mean they're not just like they just haven't like had a wedding and they're not like officially married. But in Sweden we have a word for that which is sambo, which means that you're together, you live together, you have a family together, you're just not officially married.
I I don't understand, but I'm gonna pretend like I understand. You know, it's one of these moments that I want to ask more questions, but I don't know if it's appropriate to ask more questions. But um, interesting. Well, that
Yeah.
have you asked them why, like, or it's just like it doesn't mean it doesn't matter basically.
They can't be bothered with it, to be honest. I think they just feel like at this like I think that they feel like they should have done it like 15 years ago if they
Uh
were
huh.
gonna do it because they've been together for like 25 years. So I think that they just feel like they should have done it like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, but they never did it because they were busy playing chess. And now it's just kind of too late and they're just gonna keep on rolling with, what they rolled with. So I
But
think that's how they feel like.
there's no there's no uh like tax or legal, because like in America marriage also comes with, like you have to file everything differently now, like taxes, all that legal stuff. But they're both like it's just EU, right? Sweden and Spain, so
Yeah.
there's that wouldn't even change. I don't, I mean, I don't know anything about EU paperwork, although I do want to move to Europe. And that's one
Ooh,
thing I was gonna actually ask you about and allude to, because like you just said, you've traveled, how many countries have you been to? um
35 maybe? 35? I
like
have a little
mostly in
list on my
Europe,
phone.
but probably also like around, yeah. For
Yeah.
all for chess or also for travel?
No, not no. Yeah, I've been just traveling as well. Mostly it's been chess. Especially Europe has been chess.
Hmm.
I went to Thailand for chess, which was super awesome. But I've also been to some places without chess. It's a different experience. I feel like going to a chess tournament is a
Oh yeah.
whole, destination
Hmm.
in itself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've never enjoyed any destination where I had to play chess. Uh,
I thought you
I've
were gonna say it the other way around.
no, no, no. I mean, I've only traveled out of the U.S. for a couple of tournaments, and uh, 2 years ago in 2019, we took a Euro trip with my friend, and we were gonna play a tournament in the Czech Republic and Riga, and I planned us a trip like on the entire western front of Europe. Like we were gonna go to Vienna, we were gonna go to Brussels, Amsterdam, Estonia, like Tallinn. That's the capital, right? And we were gonna finish in Riga,
Hmm.
and I got sick, so
No.
I lost the whole trip. Like I only played the tournament in Pardubice, which is not even in,
Oh.
like I didn't even see Prague. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see Prague, which is one of the most
Yeah.
beautiful cities in Europe, and my friend did, and then he took the whole trip, and I went home with a stomach infection. So I've never gone to like any of those big European places or cities, and I really want to, because I really don't like it here, and I think Europe is much better. And can you confirm or deny these assumptions?
I think Europe is pretty awesome. I will really want to go to New York and I really want to go to the US. Just like I guess many people in Europe because it's something different.
Hmm.
And but everybody that I tell that to that's American tells me that I shouldn't want that as much as I do. So but I really want to go. It seems super awesome. I really want to visit New York.
Yeah, to visit New York, it's great. You
Yeah.
definitely should. To live here, no, don't do it. There, I think there are much better things to do. But the problem is like you're born into something. You grow up your whole life somewhere.
Of
I mean,
course.
it's hard to just everyone's favorite thing when you can complain about where you live is like, so leave. It's like I will when I can. But for now I'm gonna complain, and then I'm gonna go somewhere. What's your favorite place in Europe? Is it Spain or is it it's Sweden or somewhere else?
Ooh, that's a good question. I actually was in Pardubice, but I think it was 3 years ago, so I wasn't there when you said it. And I went to Prague after. I thought Prague was a beautiful city,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I'm very sorry you missed that, Levy. I'm very sorry about that.
I mean, I
Um,
laid in a hotel and vomited, so it was a good experience. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
but that was really beautiful. But what is my favorite place? I think Spain holds a very special place in my heart. Like anywhere that I go to in Spain, I just think it's a beautiful country. There's so many like different landscapes in Spain, and I love the food. I love the weather. I hate Swedish weather with all my heart. I cannot stand it. I was outside today in -5 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it was super cold, and I was
It's
not
cold.
expecting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, my whole body and soul is very happy in Spain. So I would probably say Spain, but I'd love to visit a lot of more places. Like I haven't been to many places in Europe either. So I'd want to visit it. Where do you want to go, Levy?
Well, Sweden. All I know about Sweden is Rilton Cup, which is for those that don't know, a tournament at the end of December, and I hear it's a lot of fun. Like it's a pretty
Hmm.
strong tournament, and yeah, I just basically hear good things about it. But um, I've been to Spain. I went to Spain with my grandparents a long time ago, like almost 10 years ago. But just everything, like literally, the thought of living in any major city in Europe just seems so appealing because you
Hmm.
can drive 3 hours and be anywhere basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's or take the train or even bike. You could just bike country to country. I know some
I
people have
can't
done
ride
that.
a bike, Levy.
Okay, that's not okay. I mean, come on. Really? You never. Wait, were your parents so busy playing chess they never taught you how to ride a bike?
They
Yo, that's
were.
fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Oh my. Oh my. What else did they not teach you how to do?
I know how to swim though. I know how to swim.
Okay, okay, okay.
I don't know how to ride a or I know how to ride a car. I mean, I don't know how to drive a car,
Mm,
and I don't know how to ride a bike. But I'll put the same blame on me as on my parents. I should have
mm.
practiced in my later
Okay,
teenage
well,
years at least.
if they watch this podcast or listen to it, I'm just kidding. It's not messed up. You're both great and world class, at what you do. See, my parents were not world class chess players. They were just both doing their thing, but they still kind of forgot to parent me at times. But I feel like it's just standard, like with people
Yeah,
in
for
our
sure.
generation of 18 to 30, like not getting fully parented. Um, we
Yeah.
can we can move along the path of the parents into like the current career. So I was gonna ask you, you stopped playing chess at a certain point, and you're 2100, 2200 elo, 2000 elo, like around there.
Well, Levy, the thing is this that I had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 2100 journey elo to 2175, but I still had K40, right? So
Okay.
when I was 2185, I think, in elo, and then I went ahead and I played two tournaments, which both went disastrously bad. And with K40, well, it's a coefficient, right? So you can lose, you can
Yeah.
maybe explain it, but you can win a lot of rating, you can lose a lot of rating.
Yes.
So the last month that I ever played chess, I had two horrible tournaments, and I dropped a lot of rating. So now it's time to get it back. So I'm 2000 now rating. Yeah, I dropped like 100 something points with K40.
When did you play those tournaments? Not recently, right? Like 2, 3 years ago.
2019. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was it was the European Team Championship in Georgia that I played, and then I also played a tournament in Spain. I think it was in October 2019. Yeah, those were my last over the board tournaments.
And your
So it's been
parents
a
played at
while.
those tournaments, right?
Sorry.
Your parents played at both of the tournaments that you played at, or yeah.
My mom played
Oh,
in the European Team Championship, so she was board number one. I was board number two in some of the rounds, so it was really fun to like sit beside her.
that's cool.
and my dad was actually a team captain. So we had the whole family kind of working together there. It was really fun, to be honest. Yeah.
That's very sweet. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I was going to ask about rating, and let me just quickly say for anyone's confused what the hell a K40 is, there's a rating change factor in FIDE, and it was standardized for a very long time, and then it gets cut in half when you reach 2400. So it used to be just, or even less than that, it used to be K15 and K10, but then it went K20. So now if you're below the rating of 2400, your rating changes by that coefficient, and then it's cut in half when you get to 2400. You lose half what you would lose, and you gain half of what you would gain. But then FIDE was like, yo, let's double that coefficient to 40 if you're under, is it 16 years old or 18 years old and under 2300?
18, yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
until you get 18, like that year. So if you're under 19, basically.
that's insane, because you could be a 2180 rated 17-year-old, or like whatever, 9-year-old, doesn't really matter, or anything in between, because you were, I guess, 17 or 16, and
Yeah.
you could have one good tournament where you would normally gain 30, 40 points, and now you've gained 120.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
and the
exactly how
reverse,
it can go.
as you just said. So the reverse can happen, and that's why we had John Michael Burke. Do you know the story of John Burke?
I have no idea, no.
He was this American kid who, in the period that he still had K40, and FIDE works, people, where if you stuff 4 chess tournaments in 1 month, your next November 1st, like let's say October 1st, November 1st is when all of that change reflects. It doesn't reflect live. So if I play a tournament the first week of a month and completely destroy the 2300 barrier and don't have K40 anymore, it stays K40. It only changes the... So, and John Burke snuck in a bunch of tournaments in a month and was 2600 FIDE. And
What?
he lost the last round of one of his tournaments, and had he not lost that game, he would have been 2640 as like a 14-year-old, or like something like insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah.
What's his rating now?
He got up there. He's like 2560. So he, his skill caught up. Like he just played in the US championships, and
Yeah.
but so yeah, K40 can be really wild.
That's crazy.
But I was gonna say, you kind of stopped playing at about 2000, 2100. You don't have K40 anymore, but okay, let's say like 2100. And what was the plan? Like once you stopped, was it finish school, figure out what you like in school, in college, and then like get a job? Like what was the original plan?
That's a really good question. I feel like I've always been the person that plans the less. Like, I literally feel like I had no plan whatsoever. I just wanted to get good grades in school, and I wanted to get good at chess, and I didn't really like think more about it. I just thought that I'd probably take a gap year after I finish high school, go around and play chess tournaments and, try to get better. And then after that, start college, and yeah, it would just be like a fun playing chess year. But it just, I didn't plan on stop playing chess. I just took a little break because I felt like I mentally just felt so devastated after I had those bad tournaments, because I had like try to get up to 2200 in FIDE for so long, and then I just felt like I was almost there, and then that just happened, and I just really felt very devastated for some reason. So I just thought I'd take like a 2-month break. And 2 months later, I was commentating for chess.com, and then I started my own streaming channel, and then the pandemic came, and it just became a 2-year break out of mistake.
Yeah, well, it's the worst mistake you've ever made, probably. I remember that. Like, sorry. I meant to say best mistake, but worst mistake with that dry sense of humor actually also made sense. I was going to say it's the best mistake.
I thought you were doing it as a joke.
No. I meant to say, wow. I was like thinking, like, wait a minute, I said the wrong word. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, that's, I remember that because it was early 2020. And what tournament were you covering? Was it the Women's World Championship?
Yeah, I had like done commentary for Rilton Cup, which the tournament they were talking about, and I was like completely new. Like I had no idea what I was doing.
And
I just took that job because I wanted to, expand my comfort zone and be like, I'm gonna do something else.
And who was your co-host? Was it, who was the GM next to you?
My mom.
No, no, no. There was a guy.
In Rilton, you mean?
Yeah, I think you covered another chess tournament, and it was a male commentator.
No, it was Rilton Cup. I was by myself, but I was interviewing grandmasters, so I just went around and like interviewed them.
Am I forgetting
And
something? Was this after the World Championship?
this was
Ever?
before the World Championship. So this was in December 2019. And then after that, I got the World Championship match, and then I did that by myself, and then my mom was joining as well. So she joined. So and then after that, I commentated Karen's Cup. So then
Mm-hmm.
I had some people. I might have commentated the World Championship with Hans or something someday, but it was mostly me and my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, I remember tuning into something like at the very, very beginning, and there was like a older European GM who was a guy, and I really don't want him to get offended, but I had no idea who he was. I was like, man, this is the life of a poor GMs, you know. Like, of course, I know like Pia Cramling and your dad as well, because
yeah.
I mean, I've seen Pia Cramling everywhere, and even if I didn't see your dad's name everywhere, like I like knew you were, like the daughter of grandmasters. Like this
How
stuff just
though?
I don't
Because
I don't
like
know. I don't know. Like I don't exactly know. I just
no.
like I remember, but these things just I guess they're so rare, But
Yeah.
but if you're just a 2500 GM from somewhere in Europe, no one knows who you are outside of other
No.
GMs, which is kind of sad. But okay, we're gonna not be sad. We're gonna focus on the positive. I remember you covering those tournaments, Women's World Championship. They asked me to do it, and I was like, sure. And then I realized maybe 2 weeks before that it's at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, it
And
was horrible.
but Hans
I'm
did
like,
it, which was nuts. Like why the hell did Hans do it sometimes?
I
Um,
don't know. But I was waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, which is not as bad as 3 maybe, but I had school after it. So I was literally commentating the Women World Championship in the morning. And then I just turned up to school right after lunch because I had to miss my first few lessons. And I would just turn up to school and go to school
wait,
after.
but why did you okay, so then first of all it wasn't 3 a.m. It was probably midnight to 3 a.m. was going to be something like that, like from
Yeah.
for New York. But you accepted that just because of the prestige, like because screw sleep, you just
I
um
mean, I just thought, I'm 17. They're asking me to do commentary for a world championship match. Like, am I really gonna say no to this? What am I gonna do? Am I just gonna go to bed and, wake up and I just felt like it was a once in a lifetime opportunity for me back then. It felt like such a big opportunity. And I knew that I really liked doing commentary. I'd done it in Realton Cup and it was a lot of fun. And I just
mhm.
felt like this was just it was like those kind of things that I felt like, oh, I really cannot be bothered because it's so bad time wise, but I'm gonna say yes for sure, and then I'll just have to fix it, kind of.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. Uh, is that what screwed up your sleep schedule? Streaming?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
No,
that where it started?
Levi, I used to be so healthy. I felt like
I
I
know. Not about you, about myself.
you know exactly what I mean. I used to have such an amazing, like, I used to eat so healthy things. I used to go to the gym 4 times a week, 2-hour workouts every time. I was very motivated. I used to wake up at 8 a.m. when I was traveling in chess tournaments to go to a gym and then, like, do the prep and play the game and
Hmm.
everything. But then streaming came. And now
So
it's not. Now it's not that.
so now what? Is there no gym, or is there just bad sleep or bad diet? Like, I mean, I feel like did you sacrifice all three, or did you just sacrifice one?
Well, here's the thing.
Hmm.
I was only going to sacrifice the sleep. But then I realized I'm allergic to working out. Like, really, like, not kidding. I don't want to work out. I'm gonna say I'm allergic. I have exercise-induced anaphylaxis.
Oh
So
wow.
So, and I didn't really realize it when I was working out so much because I think that my body like got used to it or something. But now if I go to a gym, I went to the gym, I've been to the gym after, but I went like to the gym 1 year ago And after running for 5 minutes on the treadmill, I started getting like, my whole body just like got lots of like red things on, and my tongue got swollen up, and my throat got swollen up, and I couldn't breathe, and I had to go to the hospital. Um, which
Holy
is
shit.
crazy. Yeah,
I remember you writing something about that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Just yeah, pretty
that's
weird.
so your body has a response, like your levels elevate, I guess, of your heart rate or something, and your body thinks it's like it's having anaphylactic or whatever, the big word, shock, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And so your
I don't know
body.
exactly what it is. I mean, I don't have a diagnosis on it because whenever I go to a doctor, they just never know what it is, and they just tell me lots of different things. So I don't have an official diagnosis, but we're working on it. But I'm pretty sure that is at least what I have because I have all the symptoms on it, and they think so too. They just need to like officially um
So that's crazy that you
that.
there's nothing they can test within your blood. Like, it's only something that you would have to work out at a lab and get tested,
Hmm.
right? Like, if you had, wow.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's also reassuring to know that Swedish doctors are just as clueless as American doctors. And is going to the doctor a pain in the ass? Like, and you frequently don't get told anything useful, or
Yeah. Yeah, but at least we don't really pay for it. So I mean, it's tax
fantastic?
paid, but
Yeah,
at least we don't have to, go there and spend a lot of money and not get told anything. At least we just, don't get told. Well, it depends, of course, but mostly, yeah.
yeah, that's sort of how it is here. Unless it's like a very standard thing. I went to an allergist. They put a bunch of skin prick tests and they told me what I was allergic to, and then I paid money. Like, I mean, it's basically that, but
Hmm.
it's reassuring to know that even in Europe, which I thought was, I remember my experience in the Czech hospital in
Yeah.
Pardubice. I came at like midnight. There was no one there. The doctor had me sitting with a 39.5 fever for like an hour. Like, no medicine, nothing, just sitting in a chair. 39.5, for those that don't know, is basically 103. Like, one more degree and I can go immediately to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Um, so
That's
that's,
crazy.
but yeah, I know what it's like to sacrifice. Like, sleep first for me was the thing that went, because I was staying up till 4 in the morning.
Hmm.
And then everything else followed, like diet, exercise. I didn't go to the gym for like a year and a half. I only recently started going again, and it sucks at first. It's really rough, but yeah, gotta do it, or else just gonna like completely fall apart. Because then, like, once your desire to stream or your energy sort of gives out, the rest will follow, and you weren't maintaining that, so
Hmm.
you'll feel like you're left with nothing. And so, yeah, that sounds pretty grim, but I
No, I need to hear this. Please just be grim about it because I honestly really need to hear it. I need somebody because I know that I cannot put the excuse that I don't have time because I know that I could prioritize it. I just haven't prioritized it and I really need to do it.
I mean, I basically, yeah, recently, like in June, I signed up for a gym my friend went to, and it was far, so I would have to take a bike there like all summer.
Hmm.
And for me, the most important thing was basically just pacing myself, because I mean, I'm a dude, so I like pull and push heavy things and put them back down. And at first, I was super weak. Like, I was the weakest I was in so long,
Hmm.
and I would, even then, I would have to stop myself because I knew I would be sore. So yeah, I mean, the gym, but in your case, I mean, what, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. That's like literally a medical condition, so I can't be like, I mean, just go to the gym; it'll be fine.
No, but I can take like antihistamines and then it gets better. So I mean, I could do it. Yeah.
But yeah, you have to like regain control of one of those things. Even sleep
Hmm.
recently, like Lucy and I started very diligently, like, no phone, no screen after like 11 or 12, like it no later than midnight, and like 12:30 try to sleep. Just lay in darkness if you have to, and then,
Yeah.
but not everybody can do that. I mean, especially, I will say it's probably easier to have a partner because you're kind of on the same scale. Like, I know if I was by myself, like left to just, chill, I mean, I could stay up till 4 a.m., no problem. My,
Yeah.
my best friend is like that. I mean, he sleeps at 6
Yeah.
a.m. Um,
I'm
so,
that desperate. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not easy, but I feel like we've gone off on some tangents, but I keep trying to bring us back. So, World Championship. So you did the commentary on the World Championship, and it was great. And then you started your own channel. And for you, was it kind of just like, I'm gonna keep taking the next step and seeing what happens, and then only good things kept happening, like from there, like you made your channel in 2020, and then just sort of ran with it.
Yeah, it really is. It really did not have any sort of plan and like, oh, this is gonna be my job. Like I was literally just a high school student who had couldn't go to school anymore because, we had distance. So I just kind of felt like I have a lot more time now. What am I gonna do at home? I have so much time. Let me do something of my own. And I mean, it didn't really start as that because I started the channel in the end of January, so it was like right before all of that sort of started happening, at least here in Sweden. Um, but um, but yeah, I mean, I just started it without really any kind of prospects. I just wanted to do the best that I could at something because it felt like my own thing. It felt, in a way, it was really cool because it felt like this was different from what my parents were doing. My
Yeah,
parents, they were competing at chess, and I had done that my whole life, but in a way, I'd always been compared to them because of that. Like, oh,
yeah,
you're 18 and you're 2100, your mom was this rating when she was your age.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, people couldn't really compare me to them because I was doing my own thing and I had my own channel basically, and was doing my own thing there. So I just really liked it, and I think that's what motivated me to just try to do as good as possible with that. Yeah.
What was the journey like? You streamed it for a while in 2020. When did you get signed?
I got signed in January 2021. So December 2020, January 2021.
Okay, wow, a year. That might be the fastest journey of a streamer to getting signed.
It was pretty
That's-
crazy. Yeah, it
yeah,
was really crazy.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then well, like what? And then when did you start your YouTube channel?
That's actually a good question. I have no idea.
But
um,
2020 also probably, right?
Yeah, it was probably, so I think that I always like kind of try to like I wanted to have a YouTube channel. I started uploading like right when I started my Twitch channel, but I didn't really like upload consistently or anything. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it was at like the end of 2020, like October 2120, that I started like uploading stuff on YouTube as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question which might make you name drop people. So if none of those names are me, please don't like think that I will be sad. So I was gonna when you first started streaming or before you were streaming, like were you
Yeah.
watching chess streams to like learn, like pick and choose like what people were doing, and who were those people? Or did
The
you just like you
only
were like all these people suck and I'm gonna be me? Like what? Well, because I'll tell you, in February 2018, there was no one streaming, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stream. But like, I'm curious. You started in 2020. There was
Yeah.
already kind of a. So did you watch people to like learn or?
I would say that the only people that I feel like I watched to learn was the Boda sisters, probably. I watched a lot of the Boda sisters. Also because for some reason I've heard like I never watched Twitch before or YouTube when it came to chess, like
Mm-hmm.
ever. But I heard about the name of Alexander Bodis and I knew she was a streamer. So I just in a way just felt a bit more familiar because I knew about her before. And she also like yeah, I one of the first things that I ever did in my channel was to play a match against her like 1 week after starting my own channel. I was she asked me if I wanted to play a match against her, so she was like the first person that I interacted with basically in this whole Twitch world. So yeah, and I also felt like she was a female, and I don't think Andrea was that big part of the channel back then, but Alex, she was a few years older than me, and I just felt like she was just a really cool person that I wanted to take inspiration from. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah,
But not
I
anyone else. So I'm not
that's
gonna say
okay.
anyone else,
That's
Lavi. I'm
okay. But
sorry.
like, but then for YouTube, you were like, oh, like this Gotham guy. I gotta follow this like strat. No, it's okay. No, I
No.
actually I figured it was that. I
Hmm.
figured because the Alexandra really like was also kind of in a phase where she was trying to figure out how much she wanted to dedicate to like her startup and
Yeah.
in quote like real world stuff. But she, yeah, I mean everybody kind of chose streaming once they saw 2020 was a good year to get into streaming, and 2020 was a really good year to get into chess streaming.
It
Uh,
was. I mean,
and
it's crazy to think about it. Like when you look back at it, like it's so crazy. It was amazing.
yeah,
Um,
and what were your parents? What are your parents' thoughts on chess? Commentary, all this digital stuff. I mean, obviously they're happy you can make a career out of it, but overall, are they kind of like, it's a little bit silly? Is it a little bit like, you know, they're used to spending hours in a room
yeah.
like studying and actually doing the real hard work. So, what's their feedback?
I think that my mom, she was really happy. Like she was like, "Yep, this is awesome. This is not silly in any way. You're gonna make people watch chess. Go
Hmm.
you, Anna. This is amazing." I think my dad didn't truly understand what I was doing as much. Like he was super supportive with it. In no way was he not supportive. But I think that yeah, I think that he was more like, okay, this is not chess. This is something else. Whatever. This is cool. Kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's not quite chess. Like this is real chess, and
This is real chess, you know. You sit in a real room with all these people and you play real chess. That is,
I-
that's something else, but that's awesome that she's doing that. Go ahead, you know.
well, correct me if I'm wrong, but once they see the income and the tax return, I think they'll be like, all right, you know what? We can't really complain too much. Like, God bless you and continue doing this as a career.
They're pretty
So,
happy now, to be honest.
yeah, I there's things you don't need to worry about in Sweden or Europe that you need to worry about here. Like, for example, by the end of the year, because I'm turning 26, I will lose my parents' health insurance. So
Huh.
health insurance is not a thing in Europe.
No.
But here, like up until the age of 26, you can be on your parents' plan. And all that means is like every household has, not every household, but if you have health insurance, you must pay the doctors up until a certain point, and then your insurance beyond any dollar, like past that, will cover some percentage. Um, and you also pay the insurance company per month.
Oh.
So yeah, so I will need to figure out because we're self-employed people, so we don't.
Yeah, you
But
don't get insurance, of course. Yeah.
but
That's
it,
is that super expensive?
yeah, I mean, let's put it this way, maybe not for streamers, but like traditionally, yes. I mean, if I was
Yeah.
like a self-employed individual, it would cost anywhere between $500 and $1,000 a month.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
the more you pay per month, the better your plan is. So you know. But here in the States, if you spend an hour in the emergency room, you can get billed $5,000. So
Hmm.
it's pretty insane. That's how much I paid for being in the hospital and getting an IV, a blood test, and one tablet. I had
What?
one tablet of medicine, yeah, and I paid
Oh.
$300 or something like that.
Oh, that's crazy. That sounds so crazy because it's just such a different system here. So it's just very different. Like it just sounds very crazy, like to somebody that doesn't have that, you know. But it's
But
just different.
it like the there I think there's less attached to being like a self-employed, I mean, streamer, right? Like I obviously you've had to learn certain things like I don't know, taxes or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
did you how was your learning curve of okay, I need to get an agent. Like I'm sure you have agents. Did you have like a lawyer review all your paperwork, like with the org? I mean, stuff like that. So what was that whole process like to learn all that? Because you also had to graduate high school, which you did
Yeah.
this year, or
This year. Yeah.
yeah, like you had to do that, which seems like a a baby world compared to like signing contracts with organizations, everything. So what was that like learning curve like for you?
My mom taught me a lot of things because she's basically her own company kind of as well. So she
Mm,
taught me like many things. And it felt like I was studying one more subject in high school. It felt like
Okay.
I was studying law, basically. That was the other subject. I wasn't getting any grade on it, but my whole life kind of depended on it. So
Right.
I had to be good at it. I try to do my best. Now it's a lot easier, of course, because now I can, I get help with, paying my taxes and all that, and I have the ability to do that. But I mean, in the beginning, I couldn't really I didn't have the money to pay somebody to, to help me out with that. So I had to do it myself. So in a way, it was really good though, because then I could learn that, and I kind of know now what they are doing. So I can like check it and be like, I know what you're doing. This looks good. But yeah, I mean, it was hard. It was hard. It was a yeah, it was just annoying because I was scared. I just felt like an 18-year-old kid who had no idea about what they were doing, but I was signing these big things, and I had so much responsibility on me, and it just sometimes felt like it was, a little bit too much responsibility for me, but it was okay. I mean, yeah, it was hard, but we did it.
Were you
I don't know
working
how
at
to put
all?
it.
Were you working at all like before you were streaming? Like, did you teach chess and get paid for it, or or was streaming the first thing that you did that was like basically employment?
I was yeah, I mean pretty much yeah, but I used to be what's it called, babysitter, and I used to
Yeah.
not for a baby though, but
I mean, Twitch is not so different, but yeah.
I used to do babysitting. Babysitting is such a weird word. It sounds like I'm babysitting a baby. The kid was like 10 and he was interested in chess, so he wanted to learn some chess. So it was like both of them at the same time. So I had done a little bit of like teaching chess. I'd done like, I don't know, like some simuls, taught some chess to like some schools, but nothing big really. Yeah. And I'd won some like money in chess tournaments, but nothing really apart from that. That was it.
Did you have any like experience like sitting in front of a camera and talking, or did you basically just build that from your commentary?
I built it from my commentary. When I was a little kid, like when I was like 7 years old, I wanted to be an actress. I used to like tape myself doing lots of different things.
Oh,
And I would send it into like different what's it called? Tournaments. No, like, competitions.
auditions, yeah.
Yeah, auditions, yeah. So I was spending a lot of a lot of time in front of my iPod when I was younger. I didn't have anything apart from a little iPod.
It's like modern day TikTok. I mean, you were born in the wrong era. Like literally, like give it 5 other years. I mean, you could have been like exploding on TikTok or something.
Who knows, But I was happy with my little iPod. I used to lock myself in the bathroom, and sometimes I would like buy different things, and I would like show them to my iPod. I'd be like, I bought this phone case today. Look, it looks like this. Or I would like show a magazine, and I would like go through the whole magazine. It was the most boring content in the whole world.
I mean,
but it was fun.
But that that's like modern day YouTube. I mean, there's like all these kids that have so many millions of subscribers on YouTube, and they're literally 8. It's a family managed channel, and they just open presents, or they just they just kind of.
I feel like
funny.
their presents are more fun than my gossip magazines though. But yeah, that was what I did. So I had some experience in front of a camera.
And no, the reason I ask that is because, and as I mentioned to you before we started recording, is like, I started streaming. I was 22, 23, and I had I had the personality of a person who could just like say whatever and like not really care. And I was on camera, I could like, curse or, and I also had the classroom experience. So for example, I was used to just like, there was 15 kids and I needed to yell at them to behave. And I could like say things matter of factly, even if, it was kind of not like the oldest person in the room, but, and if I got into streaming at like 18, I don't know if I would have had any of those skills. And I feel like it's very hard to like captivate an audience, particularly with something like chess. And chess can be such an unforgiving category on Twitch. So I'm really interested how that all started for you. Was it just that you're like a positive person, so therefore you attracted like a positive audience? Or was it like, chat like trolls you troll them, there's like kind of a mutual like respect, but also a little bit of shit talking because it's like Twitch. So how did you build that up? Was it just kind of being yourself and like positive and the positive community? How was that?
I would say yeah. I think I was just being myself and trying to build a positive community. I would say that I wish I would have had those skills that you have because I feel like sometimes I kind of miss them. Like I didn't feel brave enough then to just be like, oh, just like don't say that. Like, what are you doing? No, go. Kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like if
Mm,
somebody's trolling or whatever, in a bad way, I didn't really like feel like I could do it. Because I just hadn't talked to a big audience before or like yeah, I just didn't have that within me. So in a way I wish that I would have those skills. I feel like I've been getting better at it. So at first I think that I was very yeah, I was just very positive. I felt like we built a very positive community, which was what I wanted because I think in many ways I was also afraid that if I did not build a positive community, I knew that I could not like trash talk. It's not within me. I could not like tell people to just like, you know, shut up. So,
you like
uh,
visibly flinched even saying that?
yeah, cause
Yeah.
it just felt, you know, I don't really know how to put it. It just felt like I couldn't do it on camera. It just didn't feel like me. So I just felt like if I just built a very positive community, then people would not be that way, and then I could just be myself truly. And I'm happy about that because I do feel a lot more comfortable just you know being positive and everything. But nowadays I feel as well that I can like be myself in other ways. Like I don't have to fake being positive all the time. I can actually bring something bad up and talk about it. Or I can like, you know, if somebody says something, I can be like, you know, what are you doing here? Get out of here. You don't say these kind of things. So I feel like I can tell people off a lot more now, and that's a skill that I've learned by streaming and by like being on Twitch. But I wish that I would have learned that before I started on Twitch and before I started streaming, because I feel like a lot of times I took a lot of things that I shouldn't have taken, just because I was too afraid to tell people to just go or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously it's not a surprise for anyone listening that as
Hmm.
a female you have a whole separate genre of abuse that you get, like than let's say a male streamer. I'm
Hmm.
curious, like when that was going on and like in your first like few months of doing it, was there ever a point where you're like, yo, this is like terrible. Like, why am I subjecting myself to this? Like, I mean, is he for all the positivity, one or two negative comments in a 3 hour stream can like really like hurt sometimes
Yeah.
more than we like to admit, and we never admit it. I mean, some of
No.
us, some streamers do, but like I would never back in the day. I mean, I would just swallow it and then.
Yeah.
Did you ever have like one of those moments like, man, this is like really brutal sometimes?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely did. I also felt like there were just I don't know, there were just many things like, you know, if you're playing chess for several hours and people are just kind of, you know, saying bad things about your chess constantly, it's like, you know, it's just kind of at some point it can just kind of tear you down and you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting in front of a camera playing chess? That's like literally what I'm doing and I'm just getting lots of people saying that I suck at it. Like why am I doing this kind of? So I did feel that a lot of times. But I never felt that enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna quit doing this. But you know, in terms of being a female streamer, I definitely think that you know, as you said, like we go through, at least in my personal experience, we go through many things that we shouldn't go through, and that does bring us down more than you know what we would want to admit, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about it with Cutie. I mean, my goal is not to like bring this up with like we had Anna Rudolph on. I don't think we talked about it that much, but so it's good to call out and good to
Always.
just to share. Um, but yeah, some people have gone through like some really crazy shit. Like I think Amaranth had like a person, I don't know if it was like cut the she had something really crazy happen. I don't know if
Yeah.
someone like showed up at her house or um yeah, I think I don't know. I mean a lot of creators have had some like really wild stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had people who are crazy. Like I've probably had like an individual write to me like 40 times, 50 times, 60 times over the past year and a half. And Gmail is terrible. Like I'll block them and then they'll still get through. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Gmail will be like, "Hey, I know you blocked this person, but here's their 50th email to you." Like, have you had a person like try to contact you like
Oh,
50 times? Like, yeah.
yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I don't even want to
Yeah.
think about it. I think it's more
Yeah.
than 50. I think it's in the hundreds right now.
From one person?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wow.
It's crazy. And I blocked them, but I don't know how it comes through, if it's a new email or what it is, but it just keeps coming through. And, it's not just me who's seeing it, it's my whole agency who's seeing that. So,
But yeah, I mean that's kind of nuts.
yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Like
No.
every like female has a story like this or multiple. It
Yeah. I
completely.
think, like, also, like, I mean, I don't know, it sounds so horrible, but in a way, like, I've been through these kind of things in chess as well. Like, I've played competitive chess. These things have happened in competitive chess as well. So, in a really horrible way, it just didn't feel, as that big of a surprise when I was streaming, just because I'd gone through these things before as well. And that's, super messed up.
What? So I got asked the question in one of my
Hmm.
recent streams to describe like the. I think it all started obviously with women's titles. Like someone always asked this
Yeah.
question, and then it kind of becomes a conversation of like just the ridiculous abuse that women go through like in the chess world.
Hmm.
What what did you have to deal with? I mean, was it just like shitty comments? Was it like anywhere that you would go to a tournament, you would just get like people would just like hit on you all the time? I mean, is it like a mix of everything? It's just also, I guess, in addition to that, I was under the impression like if you were at tournaments with both your parents, like you would be completely immune to this stuff. Is that like just a very naive assumption?
Yeah, very naive assumption.
Wow, that's so weird.
Very naive assumption. Yeah. No, I mean, it's so many things, and it's things like these things I've not wanted to talk about in the past, because it's just been so messed up. Like I've been ashamed of it, many of them. Many times or several times, when I've played games against somebody in a chess tournament, the person that I played against has like sent me a message and be like, "Hey, I was thinking about all of these things while we were playing the game today." And then brings up sexual stuff or whatever. And
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! I thought it was gonna be like they thought about like chess moves.
no, Levy, you were supposed to take the hint.
Oh my god, no, no! So what I thought is like they were too shy to talk to you during the game
No,
or
no, no,
after,
no,
so
no.
they. Oh.
No, 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 no. So, yes. Yeah, and then, the thing is that you just think about that person and you're like,
Oh.
I've been sitting in front of you for 5 hours focusing on a chess game, and this is what you were thinking of? This is like what you send me? Like, it just feels so, I don't know, because it feels like a person that you kind of know, because you've been in front of them for so many hours. You know the connection you get with an opponent, Levy, like when you're playing chess.
Yeah, I normally
Kind of.
just hate them, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just hate them. But there's like a little bit of respect. You might talk after the game. Yeah.
You kind of know what I mean. So that has happened to me several times. Where that, oh,
Wait,
I couldn't
Anna,
stop.
I'm not a mathematician, but if you stopped playing in 2019, doesn't that mean that literally every one of these stories you were not even like of age?
Mm-mm. You were right.
Oh my god. No, 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 no.
You were
Okay.
right, Lavi.
Were any of them title players?
I can't remember. I can't remember. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Like, being like a IM GM and like just oh no.
Yeah.
With your parents at the tournament too. Oh no.
My parents were at the tournament too. I haven't told them about. I don't think they know about this though. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I don't know. It's really messed up. But that's just like, and that's just one part of it. But it's also just the fact that when you're walking around, everybody's kind of looking at you. Like, I always feel like when I'm walking around a tournament that people are like kind of, spinning around or like looking or like, I don't know. And you just feel awkward, right? Because you just feel different from everybody else. You feel like you're this weird creature compared to everybody else in that room.
Dude, I
Because
mean,
people are.
some of those people might live in live in like a basement, you know. I don't know if they've seen the light of day or yeah, it's no, I get it, and it's
Yeah.
I obviously can't speak with the experience of going through the same thing, but generally, I mean, what people say, and you know, is you sort of feel like it's like your fault, and it's not the fact that they're weird, it's that it's like you have the problem, or you should be doing something differently, when in reality, society should just educate people to not be shitty.
Mm.
Like I tell the story on stream, or this anecdote. I'm like, no one in my family, my mom like never sat me down and was like, don't be shitty to women.
Hmm.
Like, don't do these things.
Hmm.
It just sort of grew up and was like, um, I shouldn't do these things. Like, it might see someone do something and go, wow, that made that person uncomfortable. I'm not going to replicate that. So, I grew up, and my generation, like my group of chess players that all kind of hung out at tournaments. I don't know if you also had this, but you have those people in your age group you see at
Yeah.
tournaments all the time. So
Hmm.
you get familiar, like you go to the same tournaments, you might like party, hang out together. It was like 25 dudes and like 3 girls. It was
Yeah.
that was the ratio of people. And yeah, that led to some adventures, but yeah, I
And
mean,
that sounds like a lot to me. Like
one
that
to
I
eight,
sorry.
like the rate. You mean the ratio of
Yeah,
people, or
that
yeah?
sounds like 3 girls out of 25 people. That sounds like a lot to me. I've been in many tournaments where I've been, there's been like 3 girls and 200 men. Pretty
Well, I
much.
meant like the group of like friends, like in the
Yeah,
whole
okay, yeah.
tournament. Yeah, the whole tournament. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
that. So, do you, to take like a positive spin on things, like are you excited to at least be like a role model for young girls in chess? Like, is that a thing that you're actively working on with the reach you have, or thinking about?
For sure. No, absolutely for sure. I've really wanted to show that you can, be a girl and you can, one, play chess, two, compete in chess, three, stream chess, just enjoy chess. And that's definitely something that's really important to me because I used to have like a pretty good group of friends, just like you said, I had my little group of friends here in Sweden, and they were good friends to me and they were really kind and everything. But I know a lot of girls that didn't have any good group of friends and they just felt really lonely in tournaments, and that was the reason they stopped playing chess. Something, as simple as that. And I definitely think that the whole culture that there is during tournaments and the whole kind of, how many girls are treated and how uncomfortable many girls are at tournaments just makes it impossible for girls to compete at chess in many times, or at least to keep them staying competing, at least for people that are new to it, because it's yeah, it's just I think that chess tournaments just need to become a more positive place for girls to be in, and many times they're not.
Yeah, I before I started doing all this online stuff, like we got our young kids program at the school where I was kind of the head teacher to like almost
Mm,
50-50. So it was like 50% girls, boys. So that was cool. Um,
that's really awesome. Yeah.
then I became a streamer and tried to pass the program on to like an instructor, and then that person didn't take it, and then the program completely fell apart.
Oh
So
no. Oh
hopefully,
no.
yeah, hopefully they at least built something afterward. But I felt like a lot
Hopefully
of
they listen to this.
yeah,
And
hopefully,
and
yeah, exactly. Um, but so the last like couple things I wanted to ask you was sort of like looking forward to the future, and I guess that was a good question to start out on. Particularly like young girls in chess. You just put on like this Squid Game chess thing, which I would have loved to participate in if I didn't have a fever and got sick for 2 weeks. I wasn't COVID though, but I was sick for 2 weeks.
it's
Uh,
okay, Lavi. We missed you, but it's definitely okay.
I hope someone worthy took my spot. Actually, Eric Rosen played, and he played because I talked to him about it in the car in St. Louis. So I'm taking
What?
yeah, I was taking because I was playing a chess tournament there, and we were in the car together from tennis. And I said, "Hey, you gonna do the Squid Game thing?" And he said, "Oh, like I don't know, I might be going to Riga, but now I'm not." And then I told him you should message Anna; she might like get you a spot. Did he message you?
Yeah, he did.
I'm the best.
Lavi, you're amazing.
There you go. Yeah. So I was like, you should do it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play it, and then I got sick. So, Yeah, the day I messaged you, I was like, I don't think I'm like fully sick yet, and then I got like super sick. So
Yeah, but you can
you,
feel it in your body before.
yeah, and then I felt it in my. I'm still feeling it actually. But did you put on Squid Game? Like, does putting on events like that, is it easier when you have an org because you go to them to put on stuff like that, or does that are they not involved at all?
I mean, I think that, it works differently for everybody, of course, but in my case, they did help me out quite a lot, especially Panda helped me out quite a lot
Mm-hmm.
in terms of, I told them what designs I wanted to do, so I told them what graphics I wanted, and they did them. I told chess.com what graphics I wanted, they did it as well, which was really awesome. And then I also had somebody from Panda. He was at the event. He was in my Discord helping everybody, out and just being like, you got to be here. I'm going to put you here. He was helping me out with a lot of the logistic stuff as well. And he helped me out with some of the planning. Like, I was telling him about my games and I was like, am I completely crazy? And he was like, Anna, yes, you're crazy, or no, Anna, you're not crazy. We can do this. So in that way, that was pretty awesome. But I would say that I mean, I did many or most of the things myself. Like, I designed all the games myself. I came up with all the graphics myself. I invited everybody myself. So I did do many of the things myself, but they definitely did help me out with some big things. Yeah.
That's what I always imagined, right? Because I guess if you put on a big event with a lot of people, and if they have sponsors like in certain categories, then they can put that on the event. But I always thought that that was a massive benefit of signing with an org, which is why I'm talking to one. But yeah,
Ooh.
I talked about it a little bit on stream, but we'll see where it goes. It's for a while it went from, hey, why is no one talking to me, to I don't want anyone to talk to me, like, because you have to sacrifice, I mean, so much from the sponsor side, right? Like all your categories and everything, and you're locked in. Like, do you have to stream a certain hours a month, or is that not part of your contract?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so
But I'm super happy, to be honest. Like, for me at least, like, it's been really awesome and I truly really like everybody at Panda. Like, they treat me so well and they've helped me out a lot. So I'm super happy with my decision, and I really love the team in general. So
it's
it's also, yeah.
I
So
was gonna
it's
say,
been
so
really
it's what you're saying is, it's I shouldn't think of it like an American. It's not all about the money, and you should focus more on the team and the future and all that good stuff.
Well, I mean, Levy, I don't really know what's best for you, Levy. But I
I don't
just
know
mean
what's best
that
for me either. So
I just mean that at least it's been really nice for me to be able to meet people and to talk to new people. Everybody at the org is super nice. I feel like I've gotten a lot of friends, which is really nice. And it's just, yeah, they've really helped me feel kind of at home in Twitch. Before, I used to feel kind of
mm,
lost in a way. I had my own thing, but I was kind of lost. Now I feel a little bit more at home, kind of.
mm,
Yeah.
okay. That's gonna freshen up my perspective a little bit. You're not just hitting the go live button and then seeing what happens. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, the really the last thing I was curious about is like what the future holds. I mean, how far in advance, like, do you plan your stuff? Um, you know, when when are you getting like your own place, and you're gonna do the whole like house tour, and you're gonna have like you're gonna have a stream room and like all the fancy stuff.
I
And
want all those things, Labby.
so yeah, what like what's the is there a timeline of events? Like, what's the plan?
I mean, the timeline is me getting enough money to get all that. Um, that is the timeline. I'm saving up to getting my own place and to be able to have a streaming room and everything. But obviously, like, it's kind of hard because I'm still pretty new in the whole thing. I cannot, like, it's pretty hard for me to just go to a bank and be like, hey, this is the money that I've made the past year. I'm a 19-year-old streamer. They don't really know exactly what that means. Like,
Oh,
to get, at least here in Sweden, like, they're pretty like skeptical about that.
oh,
So I need to probably have done it a bit more for a bank to be like, oh, you're stable. We can give you a loan or something.
oh, wow, wow. No,
Yeah.
here you could have a pulse and get a house. Okay, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But even beyond the house, like house, whatever. But like content and all that. I mean, I guess what are some big upcoming plans, or small upcoming plans?
Well, I'm super excited about the future. I am now going to be traveling to Slovenia to play the European Team Championship. So that's gonna be my first over the board event in 2 years.
Oh wow.
The last time I played that tournament, it didn't go so well, but I'm super excited to be back playing over the board. I really miss it, and I really miss all my friends in chess tournaments and everything. So I'm super excited. I'm traveling there very soon, and then I'm actually going to be traveling to Norway to meet the Bode sisters and film some content for their, you know, travel show. They're doing a travel show, so
I saw
I'm,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't leak
So
that. They leaked it like 2 days ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's funny. I was
yeah, I.
if we recorded this 2 days ago, then you would have just leaked something that was not public. But it was like just in time.
Just perfect, Lovey. Just perfect. Yeah. So we're just in time for that. No, so I'm doing that. So I'm super excited about that. But that's coming short term. I'm also going to be this week. I mean, this is honestly like the best month to rant about what I'm doing because there's just
Okay.
so many things going on. Next week, or no, this week on Sunday, I'm going to be doing a big 6 hour live show on Swedish television about chess. So
And like the world
they
championship, or
no, we're
oh,
gonna have Nils Grandelius, who is the best Swedish player. He's going to be playing chess against Sweden. So people at their homes are gonna be able to go into an app and like vote for different moves, and then the move that gets the most votes will be the move played against Nils. And I'm gonna be commentating that with another, pretty famous Swedish host. So we're gonna be doing that together.
oh
So
wow.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I'm super excited about chess, going to TV. Like that's a really big thing in Sweden. Chess is not even that big here. So it's really huge and I'm super pumped about that. So I'm traveling now this Thursday to get all that going basically.
Damn,
Uh,
that's a lot of fun. Yeah, see, I like that. I like the fact that if you're in a relatively small like nation and now chess is being more on the like map, you can just get invited to something like that. Like here, you know, I've had some journalists reach out to talk to me, but it's all Zoom. No one's gonna get like chess on the Tonight Show with any of these like big hosts. Um, I mean, I can barely get on a show like Hot Ones where you just eat wings. Like I mean,
is that your dream to go in a show where you eat hot wings?
no, I don't know what my dream is from a media standpoint, honestly. But yeah, like I love that stuff because at the end of the day, it's just many more people who will talk about chess. Like I've accepted every interview with every
Yeah.
big paper around the world. Like I spoke to the biggest Finnish newspaper, for God's sake. Like
Did you actually? That's so cool.
yeah, I forgot the name, but I just spoke to Der Spiegel, so the German like paper. I might talk to this Italian one, like just so people in different countries are like, oh shit, that's pretty cool.
That's the thing. Yeah, and I'm so happy about that because I think it's so cool the fact that we have the opportunity to do that and the fact that we can like bring chess to people from all over the world. That's just so cool and it's super awesome.
Yeah, it's something that no one really saw coming. Like all of us
Mm.
are making, careers off this. And like ultimately I'm just a believer in the fact that like if chess makes us more money than we ever first of all deserve and second of all like thought we could earn from traditional jobs, we got to find ways to give back like in some way, whether it's charity or just yeah, taking interviews or publicity of some sort or going on our national TV programming. And man, Niels is gonna have his work cut out for him because everyone's gonna use an engine. So, like, I mean, but I might recap that game. That might be fun. When is that? November what?
You should definitely November 14th.
Oh, that's the end of my tournament. So I'll be able to see it. And then will it be on YouTube?
I think so. I mean, I can help you get it. There will be
Okay.
many, yeah. No, it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm excited.
Okay, that's a lot of fun. That's a fun note to end on because we talked about a lot of fun stuff, and that's exciting. Yeah, that's super cool. So, um, yeah, I mean, thank you so much for for hanging out and for talking. As I said when we started, like I wanted to ask you like a bunch of questions because you and I are actually well, I'm closer to the other streamers in age, but like you and I are like basically the youngest like big streamers in the chess category. So
That's pretty crazy.
but I'm like a year or two away and like then there's a gap. So it's I was curious to hear your thoughts, and also, you have the unique like family perspective on things. So, yeah, I mean, thanks for chatting. I think it was a lot of fun.
I think so too, Levy. I think this was super fun. I feel like, I could have talked for hours and hours and hours. And it's super fun. Time went past really fast. And I'm, yeah, super happy to have been able to be here on your podcast. I think it's so awesome that you're doing this.
As always, thank you so much for making it this far in our episode. Feel free to catch all the other episodes on any platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else, we are everywhere. And if you want to support, you know the drill. There's donation links scattered around. I've also got courses up on my website at gotham-chess.com. I will see you back here next time in Gotham City with our next guest.